Well, good morning. I am refining my videos, but actually not that much today. We're kind of going to go with the gray of Seattle. However, what we have done is figured out the parameters of the table that actually show up in the video, which is kind of nice. It goes to about here, to here, to here, to here. So that's what we're looking at in terms of what's actually in the video. Let's see. And this is today's topic for our QR code, matrix code channel development. I am being lazy with regard to video editing, learning it. I sure could use some decent tech help as I make this happen. But for now, this is adequate. I'm going to just do it with pieces of paper. I'm having fun with old school stuff, because when we do show how to draw parts, that will always be pretty much old school. So here we go. I'm going to make one of these pages, and let's see. These are coloring pages, and this is going to go kind of quick. And you're going, Dave's banter is kind of boring. Well, that's okay if Dave's banter is kind of boring. Dave is slowly getting up to speed. We've got 20, this is the 21st video that I've posted. The only place they're going really so far is on Facebook. So let's see what happens with that. That's about the right size. Okay, so we know for a fact that we're okay with this. So let's just quickly do this. And then if I want to show off what I'm drawing, I need to keep it in this area. Right? Neat. Alright. So this is an oversized coloring page, and it goes to here. Okay? So if you go to this destination, you'll see what I'm doing. Okay. It's basically a very cool vase made. It's on Thingiverse, and it's a very cool vase that somebody made, which works sort of like this. Okay. Now, so I'm kind of drawing it out. We'll pretend that this is a coloring page. If you were to follow my drawing instructions, which will get better, because you're not really being told how to draw very well in this video, but this is still refinement. Okay. All right. I like flower arranging, and I may do some things with various forms of flower arranging, as well as some odd things with some other things. I'm still testing this out. I just want to have a quick video up. Dave does a video in the morning. Dave does a video in the afternoon. Slowly but surely the channel gets more and more videos, and they're kind of cool. Alright, so and I'm going to add, if you notice, the this is not accurate to this file. If you look up this file, but what's happening is you could actually find this file and print this file, as well as follow my not very specific instructions about how to make a coloring page, right? Now it's a very nice white vase that somebody made in this kind of clever 2D take on 3D. And I'm going to just add some of this kind of thing to it, just so it looks kind of like, you know, you can tell. Let's see if the light's coming like that. Since you can tell that it's 3D, 2D, right? Okay. All right. And so I'm going to add kind of flowers, stylized flowers. Oh, and then this should be in the video, right, while I'm doing this. Hold it in place, god damn it. Okay. And I guess it will fit right about there. My video editing ambitions are to basically do a lot of this with video editing eventually. But for now, these are kind of like placekeepers while I develop this channel. Okay. All right. Now, I'm being a little bit sloppy with this, but this is going to be a style that I develop. Because I'm at an odd place in my career where I know exactly what I would like to be doing, and I'm not getting much answer for what I believe I'm talking about. And so it's just because I believe that the nature of language itself is changing. And I've actually, this is not new for me. I believe basically I have for the last 17 years since I was I was helping out a friend with a thesis for his MFA at New Paltz Teachers College. And we decided to do something with technical writing because technical writing is very accurate. We thought, well, we'll follow that format for the thesis, right? And so I'm standing at the New Paltz Library, which is absolutely fantastic. And what happens is we're picking out this book, and I'm noticing, oh, wow, all these books on linguistics, especially sociolinguistics. And so I grabbed a couple of books that had to do with conversational sociolinguistics because I was interested in what was going on with phones at the time, where I had actually tried to talk a company in Long Island to get prepared for smarter phones. And this was in 2005. Okay. And so I thought, well, conversational sociolinguistics looks really interesting. And it was right about then that I believe, or I do believe that I personally came up with something that was a fantastic point of departure with regard to art and language, where I just realized a whole bunch of stuff was going to probably happen with phones, which I'll talk about some other time. But it all kind of like happened, or a lot of it happened. And one of them was this language inversion thing, where if you don't acknowledge that the conditions are changing, and if you don't acknowledge the reality of the situation that you are dealing with, your language, especially if it's embraced a new technology, is going to, in a sense, invert. It would be like talking about obsolete terms in a brand new language and making absolutely no sense. And that's kind of what's happened to us now. Okay. Okay, so that's the beginning for the coloring page, right? And so we're not making any sense. We're not talking about what we are as 2022 human beings using 2022 technology. We're, especially the Republican Party, is attempting to somehow, I don't know what, it's very weird what they're doing. It's a completed version. It has nothing to do with the fact that the population is getting larger and that there are more and more mobile devices, call them phones, right? 5.2 billion is the estimate now globally, right? And it's sort of like, well, that's a completely different foundation for language. Non-localized telephony, right? In the hands of billions of people, with absolutely new conditions, right? And we're just not communicating. And the thing that I found interesting about conversational sociolinguistics was that it's only what we discuss in conversation that we actually put into action. We have to have two or more people agreeing that they're going to actually do something, like make a treaty or break a treaty, to have anything happen. And so we've gone into now these echo chambers, which are very well managed echo chambers, Facebook being one of them. And there we are. And we have our weekly outrages and our, agitated memes and all the rest of it. But we are not scheduling any form of alternative to what's being done to us at all. So anyway, that's the code that will take you to this. I'm just going to set it there for a second while I do this, right? Now the fact that photographs can be grabbed, frames can be grabbed from these videos. You're going, well, Dave doesn't make very professional videos. Well, this is more or less like a sketchbook. This is not like a big deal. I can at any time grab a frame from this and then play around with it and turn it into something else. So I keep trying to tell people that you don't need an incredible budget. You don't need incredible materials to start moving the world's technology around. Okay? And we need to start doing that. And so there's 130 days left until the election, the American election, right? And we are being distracted from the consolidated activity that we need to confront what's happening with the climate and a few other things, with an ongoing circus of divide and conquer issues. If the human race could just agree, you know what? We are sexually incredibly immature, right? We are just, why don't we try and get mature about having kids, about our relationships, about all kinds of different things? And spend the next year concentrating on that. It would drive men crazy. Women would just say, well, you know what? I don't want to have sex for a year because it's just not, I'm finding myself, and the men would go nuts, because they seem to be slightly less mature than the women. But anyway, things like that. While we schedule a difference with regard to the climate. Now, I'm not saying ignore the fact that the Supreme Court is a kangaroo court. Okay, in fact, I was thinking of having Tiny Kangaroo Down play in the background here. Like, Tiny Kangaroo Down, boys, Tiny Kangaroo Down. Dedicated to the Supreme Court. Um, but the main thing is scheduling a difference. And I hope you enjoy Dave's banner while he makes this page. See, this one's a little better than the usual coloring pages. And if you can replay the video. See, that's what's cool about this. I'm going to do a bunch of these things. And I realized, you can replay the video, right? You don't, I do this once and you can well, I like that part, right? I kind of learned something from that part. Okay, well, great. And so anyway, with 130 days left until the election, I would think it would be a really good idea to start building different social networks. Now, let's say by the next election we have I don't know, a whole bunch of people, right? Who take a little bit of time out of their week to just try out the schedule a difference approach to what amounts to this agitated, actually criminally agitated situation that we're dealing with, where you don't think in terms of 30-day cycles and weeks. You think in terms of seasons, the way that they used to in the old days, where basically it's like 91 days and another 91 days, and you plan accordingly. And there's 130 days until our American election. So I'm going to have fun with these drawings, I guess. If anybody wants to watch me make drawings, they can do so while they listen to my they're not radical political opinions. I just mentioned seasons and things like sanity, the season of sanity. It would be a shame if mentioning seasons and maturity and sanity were considered no, not logical, radical. Okay, so there is our coloring page, right? Dum-de-dum. There's our coloring page. Our oversized coloring page, which we will have better refinement soon. And that's the QR code. It's supposed to be on the TV screen. Let's say there's a bunch of kids or playful grown-ups who are in a room with a TV screen with their e-readers and their phones, right? And this is on the screen, and you can zoom in on that, and it's the beginning of Augmiworld, the Matrix Code channel with opinions and stuff and cool coloring pages. And hopefully that wasn't too long. We went to 18 minutes with that one. Okay, well, thank you very much.